Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my precious pack, and welcome back once more to VEGA Conflict. And as with the title, and with what you see here, it's going to be the Leviathan Mk2 up against the 140 targets, because one thing I want to share with everyone is a few people are concerned that it's going to suck. Well, the 140 targets are over the top, and I'm not amused at all what the development team has been doing with the targets lately. But that's a subject for another time. For now, let's go ahead and let's take a look at what the Leviathan and Mk2 can do to the 140 targets alone. Well, when it can actually hit the targets and reliably farm and fill up its ablative bar and maintain it, it actually does very well. But against the miasma target, as you can see, it can't keep the ablative up. But against the other targets, well, it actually fares extremely well. This isn't a recommended farming tactic, though, because it'll only survive 2, 3, possibly 3 hits, if you're lucky. If not, well, there's not much you can do about it, because this is the game the development team has made, basically. And focusing fire on certain clusters of targets due to the cascade missiles and just clustering into them and destroying them, it really helps. And focus firing the Ravens, it also helps. And in the case of the miasma target, going back to how many it can survive, my fitting can't survive 2 of the miasma targets. Next up is going to be the Monstrosity Target, and this is where it starts to get good. And what I mean by that is exactly as it sounds. It takes much less damage from these ones, so in turn, this is also a way to look at it. You can look at them as being the weaker targets among the group. And I'll talk about my Leviathan fitting later after mobilization starts, because I'll be using it in mobilization to farm a few things myself. Because it's becoming a better and better dreadnought as I'm working with it, and I can't wait to get to Mk3 to be able to get the ablative necessary to tank and just do what it needs to, because it's got the damage per second to maintain that ablative, it just needs more of it. So, my thoughts on the Leviathan thus far? Well, I haven't had many issues with it. I've enjoyed using it. It hits fairly hard, and when you focus fire on a single target, it can destroy them fairly quickly. Mk4 is where the real fun begins, because I should be able to get mostly level 2 and level 3 weapons mounted aboard it, and then it's just a matter of destroying the targets, farming the items, the stuff that's necessary. I took the time to farm the cannons recently because they're just... Putting the cannons in a base was a mistake by the development team, and the fact that they made it so it takes so much time is just... That's just stupid. And here is my favorite and preferred target, the Infestors. And these, the Ravens are spread around at a much larger distance, so you can actually destroy them much more quickly and easily. And you don't really have to worry about the ogres, because as you're feeding off the Ravens, the ogres can't really do enough damage to hurt you badly. Also, when they get in the way, they die, so. And just like before, I'm trying to get the target to cluster up, as you can see. I'm trying to get the Ravens to move towards one another, so I can just focus fire and just keep moving and focusing fire, and just keep moving and destroying each one in sequence. And every now and then the ablative will drop alone. There's not much you can do about it right now. But as you can see, once it starts to get to the targets, there's not much they can do to stop it. It starts to feed off of them, and it's safe, more or less. And the Infestor target in this case is actually the best target to hit with the Leviathan. And after the Ravens are dead, you can actually just let the AI do its thing, because the ogres, they can't do enough damage to bring its ablative down. They just can't. So it gets to start wiping them out one by one, ramping the damage up, and just doing what it does. But that's doing it for now, everybody. Hope this video helps bring some conclusions to the targets and stuff like that. But be safe out in the void, happy hunting, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.